this is a reality. Look at this. The set is finally a reality. All the nice things, first-class things. Lord, I just thank you so much for everything I see. It's beautiful. And a refrigerator, it works. It's wonderful. It's self-clean. Boy, do I need a self-cleaning oven. Oh, I'm glad. KitchenAid. Oh, everything to equip this wonderful set. It's great. Oh, beautiful. How can I ever thank everyone for all the work they've done? My goodness, and look at this dining room. Oh, a cherry curio. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, my heart is so full today, Lord. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lord, for everything I see. Thank you, Lord.
Here's today's at-home hint. Before squeezing a lemon, submerge it in hot water for 15 minutes. You'll get more juice from it. The rinds of lemons make excellent flavorings for muffins, cakes, and frostings. If you've got a helpful hint that you'd like to share, we want to hear from you. Send it to At Home Hints, CTV, Wall, Pennsylvania 151481499. That's At Home Hints, CTV, Wall, Pennsylvania 151481499.
Well, welcome to At Home. We're so glad you joined us today for our very first program. We trust that in the many weeks to come, you're going to learn a lot of things about cooking, about crafts, about relationships. It's just going to be a program that we trust will be a blessing to you. And today I'm going to start out making some lemonade because it's this time of the year when everybody's looking for something good to drink. I've had some lemons soaking in some hot water for about 15 minutes, and now we're just going to chop them in half. And these things are great, aren't they? These little juicers are just great because it gets the pulp and everything else out, and you don't have to keep messing with it. This was probably developed a long time ago. I don't think they've come by with too many more utensils that do the job as well as this does. So what we're going to do is just take the juice of these lemons, and really the recipe calls for a cup of fresh lemon juice, and that's probably about four or five big good-sized lemons. And like I said, I've had this in the water, and that makes the juice come to the fore. Don't keep them in the refrigerator if you're going to be making lemonade, because the cold tends to restrict the juice. And just by putting them in the hot water and rolling them a little bit really makes them juicy and good. Now, so far I have, I think, 3. I'll probably do a little more than that. And I thought I'd fix something today because I'm going to have a very special visitor here in a little bit that I want you all to meet. You've met her before a lot of times, but she's a good friend, and I hope she's going to drop by because she and I have a lot to talk about, and we want you to hear it. Now, let's see. That's probably about enough. Wipe my hands here. And I'm going to put this juice into my pitcher. Now, some people strain out the little lemon seeds, and I do sometimes. Sometimes I think they do all right leaving them in there because they tend to settle to the bottom anyway. I'm going to add just a little bit more lemon to that because that certainly isn't a cup. I don't think that I have enough here. We'll go one more. Let's see here. It's fun. It's always fun to do things out of the way. It's easy to go and grab a can of frozen and thaw it down and add some water and some ice to it. And it's easy to get the lemon juice in a jar, and there's nothing wrong with that, if that's what you have. But if you go that extra little bit just to make it special, it tastes better for some reason. I mean, I don't know why, but it just does, okay? So to this then, we're gonna add about 3/4 of a cup of sugar, because you have to sweeten from the sourness, you have to sweeten it. And we're gonna mix that up real well. This is a nice pitcher. Pretty glass pitchers are so nice. I know plastic's in, and if you have children, that's all right. But sometimes it's nice to get out the pretty things and use them. Not just on holidays, but all kinds of days. Okay, now to that, we're gonna add about 4 cups of water. And I hope all of this fits in here. I think it should. Yeah. Does it smell? If I could have you smell how good this lemon smells. There's nothing that can compare with this. Particularly if you like lemon flavor, you'll love this. Looks like lots of seeds in there, but they'll settle and they'll be fine. Let's see here now. Get some glasses ready, and then you get some ice. Hey, who's there? Come on in. Hi, Linda. Come on in. Nice to see you. How you doing?
Oh, this is beautiful.
Wonderful.
This is just
look
beautiful.
at this. It's just amazing, isn't it?
And
Come on,
answer
pull up
prayer.
a seat.
Oh.
You're just in time. I'm making lemonade. We'll sit down.
All
And
right.
I'm going to put some in.
Oh, one of my favorite drinks.
Whoa, lost that one.
Okay.
Slid right across. It's
I do that all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Only my puppy gets it.
Well, at least there's someone to clean up, you know.
Arlene, this is beautiful.
Isn't this wonderful?
This is wonderful.
Linda, you know, for a long time we've talked about doing things for ladies that we enjoy doing, mainly cooking programs and crafts and all of that.
Okay.
Taste that, see what it tastes like. And so, you know, we really have this opportunity to do it. Is it good?
Oh, it's wonderful. It really is good.
Wish you folks could be here to have a little taste of this
I'll
because
take their share.
yeah, this is a reality to us
It
now.
really is.
It's
After many years, many
5 years, wasn't it? It was at least 5 years. I remember us doing the first Christmas program on Getting Together. Do you
Yes.
remember that?
Yes, I do.
And we didn't really know what we were doing. I mean, let's face it, we didn't. But we put it together, booked our guests.
We'd both spent too much money.
We sure did. And we thought that it should be Christmas from the heart.
That's right.
And do you remember who was on? I think Arlene Eagle, general
Arlene
manager.
hosted.
She hosted.
Anita Robertson.
She made those gingerbread houses, didn't she?
Everybody in the family made a gingerbread
Even her
house.
husband. Even her husband.
Even her husband.
And who else was
Bobby
on that?
Morrow had
Oh,
all kinds of
crafts.
crafts for children, for adults, for gifts, for decorations. It was
She's
beautiful.
fantastic. And she came back several years, as I remember.
Yes, she did.
And you and I, I remember this. You and I had this whole big table full of things that we showed, gifts from the kitchen.
That's right. And I'll tell you, it was the most beautiful spread.
Linda, I baked for 2 days on that. I remember because we put the program together so quickly, there wasn't time to plan. And I remember saying to the general manager, Arlene, do you think I could take the 2 days and bake these? She said, go ahead and do it, Arlene.
That's right.
And I worked morning till night, and I mean, the whole table was full of so many different types of things. It was amazing.
And it was beautiful. It was the nicest spread.
Didn't it set your spirit for Christmas,
Yes,
though?
it really
It really
did.
was Christmas from the heart because all the things that we showed were things that people had made and given
Right.
of themselves and,
That's right.
and projected into the crafts and the articles. It was a wonderful time.
Well, that's really the way it should be because that's the spirit of
Well,
Christmas.
Sure. And not only that, our partners got so involved. The viewers, they bombarded us for recipes.
Oh, I
remember
will
that.
never forget that.
You remember it because you were the one that stuffed all the envelopes
I
and sent
folded
them
and
out.
stuffed and folded and stuffed until I could fold and stuff no more.
I remember that. That was amazing. It really was. Then the next year, we thought we'd do it again, right? Because
Oh,
the
yes.
response was so great. And this one was called, this was 1987, right?
That's right.
And it was called Christmas with
Christmas
Norma.
with Norma, because Norma hosted that
Norma
year.
hosted the whole program. And who
her,
was on?
Her friend Vi. Can't remember her last name. But wasn't
Yeah,
Vi on with her
Vi.
then?
That's right. And she did decorating tips, and she did centerpieces, as I remember, too,
Centerpieces,
right?
pieces for your mantle with
And Linda?
candles, and they were gorgeous.
There were other people on, but the thing I remember most about that was you making cinnamon bears. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I remember putting my hands in the cinnamon and stuff, and it was,
There was applesauce and cinnamon.
Applesauce and
then you had to make a
cinnamon.
dough or something out of it, right?
that's
You
right.
spoon the dough, the applesauce into the cinnamon
Until it gets really thick, like a
Right.
and it sticks together.
right. And
then
you
you-
can't really do that with a spoon. You have
No,
to get your
you really
hands.
have to get your hands in it.
But the question is, how did you get it out from under your nails?
Oh,
And your hands smelled.
wonderful. They looked terrible, but they smelled really
But you
good.
know what I remember too was you making that a few days ahead of time, and in our office you had the little bears drying, and the whole office smelled like apple pie. And people kept coming in saying, What's in here? Is that applesauce in here? Are you baking an apple pie? What
And
do
you
I
know what?
smell?
We still have them, and they still smell.
Every year you bring them out when we decorate the office, and they do. They still
That's right.
smell.
Still put them on our tree.
That was great. And that was 1987, and then 1988. What happened then? Let's see.
Let's see.
The-
Sharing the gifts.
I remember sharing the gifts. And Norma and Loretta Scott,
That's
they
right.
co-hosted.
That's right.
That was a fun program. I remember that one well.
That was a nice program.
Do you know why? Because I worked my fingers to the bone making
know.
sweatshirts. That was the year the sweatshirt rage was
That's
so
right.
big.
With the Wonder Under, and you made all these designs, and I didn't know you were doing it until you brought in the office and
They were
filled the office.
everywhere. And Loretta was so overwhelmed by them because I think we had some that had bunnies on them and some that
Right.
had bears.
Right. And you had some that had flowers on them, and everybody in the whole staff wanted one, of course.
I remember that. In fact, I remember making them almost up until Christmas Eve because you don't realize how long it's going to take.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden, you've got
But
all
they
these
were
orders.
beautiful.
And that was such a fun time. There were some other people on that program, too, that were on with, remember Mandy Matthews and her mom
Yes,
made those
her
fancy
mother
little
made
socks?
those socks. They were beautiful. I bought some for my daughter.
Right. And Christy wore them, and Mandy is now grown up. She's,
that's
she's a
right.
young lady now. And a girl from Minerva's Bakery. Minerva Bakery has always been so good to us.
Yes.
But she was there.
She made the
She
cake.
baked the cake and decorated it with, what was on the top? Poinsettias? or something?
Poinsettias.
It was beautiful.
And it was a beautiful cake.
And
really.
people wrote again, can we have the recipes? Can we have the recipes? And I think it was at that time that you and I started saying, boy, you know, we ought to have a program like this all the time, all year long for women.
That's
not
right, because
just,
the response,
Oh,
the women
yeah.
were interested in that. And people who'd never watched.
Right.
We're flipping across the dial and
Started
seeing it.
watching, sure. And the amazing thing, too, was that every year, the number of people that responded kept growing and growing. So
growing
they were
and
telling their
growing.
friends in the mail. You know how we enjoy reading the letters
Yes.
from our friends that
That
write to us?
That probably was the
Was
most
really.
enjoyable thing, was reading the letters from the ladies that wrote
They'd say,
in.
oh, you know, you challenged me. I'm going to do this for my family this Christmas. Or I've decided instead of us going out and spending all this money, we're going to make things and our whole family's sitting around the table in the evenings. And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all
family.
about.
That's what it's all about. So what year was that? That was 1988,
I think
right?
right, that was
Then
88.
because of that response, we said, let's make this a whole week. Linda, I told you after that week, if I
Shoot
ever
you.
say that again, break my legs or something,
That's
because
right.
we didn't realize how much
Because
work.
the one show was a lot of work, a lot of
It really was.
preparation.
But 5 shows.
And we were
that
just
was-
foolish enough to
We
go
did
along with it.
Why not, right? And I remember Olene hosted that.
That's right.
Again, and it was called The Art of Celebration. It was taken
Right.
from Jack Hayford's book, saying how
Right.
the people need to learn how to celebrate the holidays and the
And
birth
it was
of
a
Christ.
different aspect of
Every night.
celebrating every night.
But the funniest part, let's see, who else? Oh, that's where we did the feasting table.
Right, and the staff
all
prepared the
prepared
Christmas
foods.
dinner.
Dee Richard was on. She made a strawberry shortcake.
It's like a strawberry angel
tort-
cake,
Yes.
looked really good.
It was great.
Caesar salad, somebody
Yeah.
made a Caesar salad.
And somebody else made vegetables. The Hicklings.
I'll never forget Tom Hickling and the tomatoes.
And Kathy kept saying they look like eyeballs. Try to cut them so they don't look like Christmas tree ornaments or eyeballs.
Ooh.
But the hit of the show
Oh,
was Steve Johnson.
Right.
Steve Johnson made mashed potatoes. Yo, Steve, are you there? Yeah, Steve's the director of our new program. And
oh,
Steve,
I will
a lot
never
of
forget those mashed potatoes.
But a lot has happened since then. Because Steve got married and now somebody's making those mashed
thank the
potatoes for
Lord.
him.
Thank
But
the Lord.
Steve, can we see, I mean, this was incredible how he did this. For a bachelor never to have made potatoes before.
Should we-
He took a poll around the studio asking people how to do it. And finally, he conglomerated everybody's opinions and he made potatoes. He boiled them from 6 to 7 and brought them to the studio and mashed them at 8:45. So you can imagine it was more like paste.
I remember,
But do you remember-
the mixer
Do you remember
standing
Olene's
up,
face?
standing up in the mashed potatoes all by itself.
I'll tell you, we have laughed. That has brought such joy. And the letters from the folks that were watching saying, that's all right, tell that young man not to worry. I didn't know how to make
When I
biscuits
got
or anything
married,
else
that's
till I
right.
got
I
married.
remember that.
So there was hope for Steve. You know, Steve got married and now his wife makes such good potatoes. Right, Steve?
You know,
Well, anyway, that was so enjoyable.
Oh,
and,
that was.
And the viewers sent forth, as I remember, we were talking several thousand.
Yeah, there were several thousand, I
requests
think.
for our recipes and things. And every year we just knew in our
It just
hearts
got-
that we had to
that's
keep
right.
doing it. We needed to do it again and again. And then last year, I guess in 1991,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, 1990, we're in 91 now. I ended up that everybody was out of town that normally hosts the
That's right.
program. And so we did kind of the essence of Christmas, didn't we?
Right, because every program kind of was started with an S.
Yeah, it was what? The spirit?
The Spirit of Christmas, the Sounds of Christmas, which was all music,
yeah.
the Sights of Christmas, which were all the decorations and
Decorations.
everything, the
Smells.
smells of Christmas.
Yeah, remember
which
that
were all-
wonderful buffet that Lisa
Fixed?
Yes. And I forget
Sharing,
the
sharing of Christmas, which were gifts that you make.
And the one
The
where
first program that we did was on the Spirit of Christmas, because we wanted to start with
Giving
that's
and sharing.
the real essence of
It
Christmas.
really is. And we had a national, well, kind of a nationally known guest.
For
Joe
us.
DiNardo came over from Channel 4, and we had a good time with him. We had folks from the
That's
Salvation
right.
Army.
That's right, Presents for Patients.
Yes.
Every organization in the area, Salvation Army, everybody that were giving, because
Yes.
that was the spirit of Christmas.
And I remember CTV very generously donated to each of those
That's right.
causes, and we were able to present a check with,
That's right.
from us to them. And all of them, the people that were there that night, were just so appreciative. And none of them knew that they were coming to get a check. They were
That's
just
right.
coming to talk about what they were doing
That's right. It was a
in their
surprise.
particular ministries. Yeah. And it was just nice to meet Joe DiNardo. And then later in that week,
Let's see.
we had the night that we cooked, and Dean and Mary Brown.
That's right.
They were here.
They were here. And
Crazy Dean and Mary Brown. We had so much fun with them. And Mary told me, she says, Arlene, I want to make a pecan pie. I said, wonderful.
Yeah.
Because they're from
that's
down
what,
south.
and that's what she makes and gives to all of her neighbors.
Right, at Christmas time. So, and Dean, of course, he had to help.
Yes.
And he
I'm
was
not sure
picking
how much
little
help he
things
was.
out of the eggs. Remember that? He's picking little things out of the eggs and saying, oh, we can't have this, we can't have that. It was so funny.
It was funny.
And I remember we made this cake, or I'm sorry, this pie, and we had one baked already. And then she said to me, Arlene, now look, this one's ready to go into the oven. Well, we didn't have an oven here at the studio at that
That's
time.
right.
And so she said, take this home and bake it. Well, it was dark until we got home, and I had this in a box that I thought was very secure. Well, going home, it ran over the edge of the pie crust. It was all over the place. Not knowing it was in the dark, I got to my home, picked the box out. I had the contents of the pecan pie straight down the front of my dress.
It tasted really wonderful.
It was wonderful. Yes, it just doesn't wear well.
It doesn't wear
your
well. It's a little sticky.
But those were special times. And that year, well, who else was on that week? Let's see. We had the Riders here. Chiz Ryder played
That's
trumpet,
right.
and Lois, his mother,
his mother
sang.
was here, and Roby Tulek
Roby
did
Tulek played the piano.
Mm-hmm.
We had the girls that came
Linda-
from
Living Light.
Living Light.
All the
They
girls
came
did
with-
all the
Yes.
fashions. That was a fun program.
That was. There was some. They made potpourri. The girl that made
Linda
the potpourri.
Winwood.
Yes.
And Joy Scalzo. We had
yeah.
so many.
And everybody wanted those recipes. And it was always such a pleasure for us to
yes.
compile them, because we were as excited that they were calling and writing for them as they were to receive them.
That's right.
And you were still getting requests for those when? February?
March.
March. Oh, March.
I was still getting. And every once in a while, I still get
Still
another
get
one.
some. Yeah.
But we had almost 4,000 requests
Isn't that wonderful?
from this past Christmas.
And I think then management, I think the management always was
Right.
with the thought that something like this type of a program could go. But it's just the timing of God.
That's right.
And it's what's available, what space is available in our studio, which is
That's
not
right.
much. But we saw everything kind of fall into place at the beginning
The
of this
timing
year.
was right.
It
And all
really
the
was.
planning, and everybody just came together.
And Linda, there are a lot of people that are making this program possible. I mean, people who God just let us come across our path,
That's right.
like the Jordan Banana Company. They're providing
right.
wonderful, wonderful produce for us to do this program. Then there's the Woolly balcony cookware down the strip.
Oh,
Mr.
that-
Woolley is such a joy. What a
I
wonderful
noticed
man.
all this. gorgeous
wonderful
cookware that I don't even have in my own kitchen.
But you know, isn't that just like God to provide better than what we have, even
See,
better than what we
I
thought?
think that has probably helped you know that this is what God
What
wants.
God wants, yeah. And people, and Value City gave us the wonderful hutch back there.
I
just
noticed that
gorgeous.
when I came in.
And
That's beautiful.
yeah, and the flowers have been donated. My church had a burden for this program and gave us $1,500 to equip the set, and God has equipped it himself. I mean, it's just amazing when you see what's happened. And it kind of gives you the knowledge and the secure feeling inside that it is God's timing
That's
to
right.
do this.
And you know you're walking just where He wants you.
Right. And basically what this program, what we want to develop, and I'm glad that you're going to be my producer for this because we've worked so closely together, and you kind of know me and I know you, and you know my weaknesses and you know my strengths, and so you kind of support, and I've always appreciated that, and I think that God has put us together as a team.
I'm looking forward
like
to it
that.
because I think it's going to be exciting.
I am too, and I want the ladies out there to please, if you,
that's right.
any time that you feel like you have a suggestion, you have an idea, jot it down and send it to us. We'd love to hear
That's
your
right.
ideas because, you know, that's the only way we know what people want to see and
That's
what they
right.
want to hear. But we're going to cook some great things. We're going to have some great guests.
I know the crew can hardly wait.
Well, I mean, everybody wants to work on the program. I wonder why that is, Linda. It's just like those Christmas shows. We always had a lot of people here
can't
in the
imagine
studio.
why.
It's probably those smells that are wafting their
It was
way
all
around
that
the
good
studio.
food.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
But
wonderful.
in the upcoming weeks, we're going to have some national guests who are going to stop by. We're going to have some local pastors who are coming to cook
Yes.
for us. We're having local chefs and
That's
professional
right.
people. I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking.
Good.
We're going to have Norma. She's going to come and cook. Olene's going to come on and cook. We're going to have our
Oh,
whole
the staff is volunteering left and
Do you
right.
remember when we had the staff cooking before one time on a telethon? It was.
Oh, I remember that.
I mean, it actually.
Ken Blows and
Yes,
the-
he
yes.
actually
And the
gave his
beans.
blood for the beans.
He sure did.
But we're going to try not to have that happen
You know what?
again.
Cooking is always fun because for me, the kitchen is always
The
just
center of the activity, isn't it? And there's just something about saying to someone, I have taken the time to prepare this for you, and I care that much about you that I want you to share it with me.
it's your expression of love.
And you know, that's the way it's always been.
That's right.
You break bread together. There's just something about it. It's not just, well, here's a piece of something to eat or here's a piece of bread. There's something about breaking bread together that it bonds you. It just
Right.
brings you together in a oneness. And that's kind of the things that we want to be doing on the program. We're also going to develop into crafts. You
Oh,
know, we're going to do
good.
some of the crafts.
Good.
Bobby Morrow, I'm sure, will be coming back. We have lots of
Sure.
plans for the future for this program and to make it something that you won't want to miss next week. You want to see it. Be sure you set down your times so that
Oh,
you'll
I
see it every
know.
week.
Nobody wants to miss it.
I know. And you know, people have been calling me saying, hey, we would like to be on your program. And this is the first program, so I don't even know how they know, but they're excited about it.
Well, people come to, when
When's it start?
is the program going to start?
Yeah.
When are you going to? We can't wait.
I know. I know. I know that people will be tuning in and
That's
be
right.
looking for some of the folks that maybe they rub shoulders with, you know, on Sunday at church. Who knows?
That's right.
And we're going to have professional people, but I think the key is we don't want to do anything at home that the people at home couldn't do.
That's right.
You know,
That's
it's
what I
not
was
going to be
gonna say, yeah.
complicated gourmet. I'm not a professional chef. I just like to cook. I'm a lady that likes to cook. And you know, Linda, that from the time that I was about 9 years old, my mother made it very easy for me to learn to cook. Now, this is a rare individual. She'd say, Arlene, if you cook, I'll clean up. Now, I know, Linda, you've never said that to Christy, have you?
Oh, no.
Because she's a whirlwind in the kitchen. Now, you
She
told
sure
me.
is.
But my mother created an atmosphere for me to want to learn. And she would say that all the time. If you cook, I'll clean up. And I'm not one of these that I take a pan and then I clean it out. If there's 5 pans, I'll probably use them all. That's just the way, you know, I'm in a hurry or whatever, you know. But my mother, she cultivated that in me.
That's good.
And so I was never afraid to try something. I was never afraid to fail. Because if the cake flopped, she'd say, well, what did you do this time that maybe the next time you shouldn't do? Was the oven hot? Was this? And so she allowed me to learn. And she didn't demand perfection at the beginning. And that's a key.
So that's what you're going to let the ladies at home
Right.
do.
So it's not that I am have not gone to school, culinary school, anything like that, but I have prepared meals since I was a child. And my dad, you know, he enjoys good cooking, and my husband's family, his mother was a baker, so when we got married, you know, it just kept going, it keeps going
well,
on and on.
you're a good cook, that I know.
Well, I don't
and
know.
I've learned a lot from you.
I know, because we've talked and shared cookbooks and things, and I think that your interest in cooking has developed
yes.
just since we've been talking about
I'm finally learning how to cook.
Well, you know, in a day and an age where everything is so fast, and it's easy to run to that McDonald's and get that greasy burger that has no nutritional value
That's exactly right.
as far as the things that your children need and the things that you need, you know, as adults. It's easy to do that. They make it so easy. But there's some kind of a satisfaction that you get when you have spent this time to prepare this meal and you present it to your family and they enjoy it with such relish. Oh, this is so good. It just gives you such a good feeling.
And of course, I like the way you present your meal. I mean, I've never been to your house, but there's napkins and, you know.
That's part of it.
And china and, you know. And
let me paint a little scenario for you. If I cook this meal and then I said, oh, Linda, grab a plate over there, get a paper plate because we don't want to dirty the dishes, and let's just put some of this on and sit wherever you want to sit. That's not worthy of my time and preparation of that meal. It's a whole look. It's a whole preparatory thing that once you have prepared it, then you put it on that table and your eye appeal is some of the greatest part of enjoying a meal.
You're going to show us all how to do that, I hope.
We're going to show all of this. In the next couple of weeks, we have a girl that's coming. She's going to show us how to do a complete Sunday dinner.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
And she's going to do it in a half hour, ladies, so there's no excuse getting home from church and not being able to think, I can't make it. You can do it. We're going to show you how. And watermelon baskets, because the fresh fruits are so in season right now. We're going to do that. And we're going to be making lasagna. We're going to have guests. We're going to have good times. We're going to have a whole program on salads, all kinds of salads, not just the green salads, but other kinds of salads. So
it's easy to get stuck in the rut with salads.
Yes.
Just the plain old salad. You get tired of salads.
It is. Thanks for being here today, Linda. Really enjoyed having you. And you also. Please be sure to join us next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you here at home.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Fresh produce provided by Jordan Banana, wholesalers of fresh fruits and vegetables in Trevosburg, PA. Groceries from Scozio's Shop and Save, the family stores that love serving you. Cookware provided by Woolies. Your favorite gourmet deserves the best for less at Woolly Balcony Cookware. Some of our guests stay at Almanzo's Palace Inn, your home away from home in Monroeville, Pennsylvania.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.